Level 1. The script kiddie. You're 14. You do not understand how the big systems work yet. You just know that the green text on the black screen makes you feel powerful. Your computer is a cheap, secondhand laptop from your uncle running a free version of Kali Linux from a thumb drive. The first law of this life hits you on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. Curiosity is not just a hobby. It is a risk. You run your first basic automation program against the school's Wi-Fi network. The screen blinks twice. The principal's office loses its internet connection. You do not feel happy. You feel a sudden, cold fear. You realize you just crossed a line. The school's IT teacher walks into the room 20 minutes later. He does not look at you. He does not need to. You learn right there that the digital world records everything. The smartest person in the room is the one who leaves no footprint. Level 2. The help desk tech. You're 19. 2 years of computer college, and you get a basic job at a data center. This is mandatory before any real security team will look at you. Your shift is from midnight to 8:00 a.m. You work with a senior tech named Marcus who eats cold pizza at 3 a.m. and never rushes. You ask him once why he moves so slowly when a server crashes. Because the ones who panic make mistakes, he says. You pace yourself, or the machine breaks you. You spend your nights resetting passwords and checking cable connections. It is boring work, but you learn the structure of networks. One night, you notice a strange spike in data traffic from an unknown IP address. You write a detailed report about the suspicious activity. The management ignores it. You learn that corporate safety and actual security are two different things. At the end of the year, Marcus signs your recommendation letter for the security team. He tells you that you have a rare gift. You do not panic under pressure. Level 3. The SOC Analyst. You're 22. You pass your first major security exam, the Security Plus certification. Your job is now inside the Security Operations Center. You sit in a dark room with 6 large monitors. Your task is to watch millions of security alerts every single day. It is like looking for a single needle in a field of hay. A senior analyst named Sarah runs the day shift. She teaches you how to investigate threats. One morning, a high-level alert pops up. An executive's computer is sending locked company files to a server in Eastern Europe. You have exactly 90 seconds to cut the connection before the data is stolen completely. Your hands shake, but you remember Marcus's words. You isolate the computer from the network. The data stops moving. In the morning meeting, Sarah nods at you across the room. No one cheers, and no one says thank you. You understand now that when you do your job perfectly, nothing happens. Level 4. The penetration tester. You're 25. Your job title changes. You're no longer defending. You are attacking. Companies pay your team to legally hack into their systems to find their weaknesses. You spend 400 hours practicing the same entry methods until your fingers move automatically. Your first major project is a large regional bank. You spend 3 days searching their website code for a tiny error. You find a small flaw in their login page, a simple SQL input mistake. You type a short string of code, and the bank's internal database opens wide. Some of the newer guys on your team are excited. You are not. You look at the thousands of private customer records on your screen and realize how fragile the real world is. True security is an illusion. Everything can be broken if you give it enough time. Before we go further, if you enjoy this journey, hit that like button right now and subscribe so you don't miss the next levels. We upload every single week. Level 5, the incident responder. You're 28. You are now the person companies call when their systems are already destroyed. You carry an encrypted hard drive in your bag everywhere you go. A major hospital chain gets hit by ransomware at 2 a.m. on a Sunday. Every computer screen in the building demands $5 million in Bitcoin, or they will delete all patient records. You arrive by 4:00 a.m. The hospital director is crying in the hallway. You do not look at her. You go to the server room, plug in your drive, and look at the damage. You find a hacker's digital pathway and block it. You spend 36 hours straight manually cleaning the virus out of the hospital's main systems. You survive on bad coffee and energy drinks. When the systems turn back on, the doctors can see their patients' data again. You You drive home in the morning light. You realize the weight of this job does not live in the code. It lives in the quiet hours afterward, when your mind replays the crisis. Level 6, the Red Team Leader. You're 32. You are responsible for a team of 6 elite hackers. You no longer just test code. You test human behavior in physical buildings. You plan a simulated attack on a major power company. A new hacker on your team, a young guy named David, is incredibly fast with his tools. But during a simulation, he moves too quickly. He leaves a bright digital signature that alerts the company's defense team. The mission fails. You pull David into a private office afterward. No yelling. You tell him, speed is useful, but silence is better. The two are not the same thing. He listens. You watch him slow down and become precise over the next 6 months. Your next operation takes 4 minutes to execute, and the target never even realizes you were there. You learn the leader's job is not to take the credit, but to fix the mistakes of the team. Level 7, the Director of Cybersecurity. You're 37. You command the entire security division of a global tech firm. 50 operators, a multi-million-dollar budget, and a responsibility for millions of users. You do not write code anymore. You approve budgets, review high-level reports, and speak with corporate executives. One afternoon, a high-profile data leak happens. A hacker steals a small list of customer emails. Legally, it is not a disaster, but a 15-second video about the leak goes viral on social media. The news calls your company unsafe. You hold a live press conference that same afternoon. You are calm, precise, and completely honest. You say, a mistake happened. We owe our users a full explanation, and we will provide it. Your boss tells you later that you were too direct. You tell him it was accurate. You learn that the hardest part of the job is not fixing the servers. It is protecting the trust of the public after the damage is done. Level 8, the Government Contractor. You're 42. Your name disappears from regular company lists. Officially, you're just a private tech consultant. Unofficially, you report to a secure government facility. The operating environment here is completely different. You're dealing with nation-state threats. A foreign group is trying to map out the digital controls of your country's water supply systems. The intelligence picture is confusing. You spend 3 weeks living in a windowless room, tracking data lines across international borders. You find the source, a state-funded group operating out of a quiet apartment building in an Asian city. You do not launch a massive attack back. Instead, you quietly build a digital wall that locks them out forever. The public never hears about it. No news articles are written. True power operates in total silence. Level 9, the Advisor. You're 48. You stop fighting the daily digital wars. You start shaping the future. You are appointed as a senior advisor to an international committee on cyber warfare. You sit in rooms with politicians and military generals who have never touched a line of code in their lives. They talk about statistics and numbers. You talk about reality. You explain what happens when an entire city's power grid goes dark for a week because of a single weak password. Some of them listen, and some do not. You focus on creating a new training framework for the next generation of defenders. David, the fast kid you trained years ago, is now a director himself. He calls you to thank you for the lessons. You realize that mentorship is the highest form of success. You must give away everything you know so the next generation can go further than you did. Level 10, the Quiet Professional. You're 55. You retire to a small house in a quiet town. There are no monitors, no data spikes, and no midnight alarms. You chose this place for the quiet. On your desk sits an old, disconnected laptop. It doesn't run, but it serves as a reminder. Young students sometimes come and visit you. They ask the same question you once asked yourself years ago. What is the secret to being the best? You look at them and tell them the truth. Technology changes every year. Tools change every month, but the human mind does not. To survive in this world, you must learn to be still enough to see the truth behind the noise. Precision alone does not make you right. It just makes you accurate. They write it down. You watch them leave. You close your notebook. You were never just a hacker. You were a guardian. And every great guardian starts with the exact same thing. The willingness to sit in the dark, stay calm, and look for the shadow.